Thanks for staying with us. So during lockdown, so many South Africans have been driven to spend most of their interaction with the world online, whether it's for work or to keep up with friends and family. The question is, are you also still going online to swipe left or right to find your match? Now, some have said there's been an increase in traffic to some dating websites, while others have said South Africans have decided to rather wait until lockdown has been lifted before trying to make that all-important special connection. Let's talk some more about the impact of lockdown on the online dating scene, shall we? I'm joined via Skype from Johannesburg by relationship expert Paula Quincy. Paula, thank you so much for joining us this morning. Now, since lockdown has started, we have done so many stories about how the world has pivoted towards life online, whether we're in contact with friends and family or we're conducting our businesses and work meetings online. In terms of what you've seen, has lockdown put a damper on the very active online dating scene?
So no, I mean, people are, as you say, they're living online now, whether it's from a personal perspective or a work perspective. And the same goes for the dating scene. I think the difference now is people are spending a lot more time in terms of taking their time to get to know someone, to look at people's profiles instead of just the swipe left or swipe right. Because we've got time on our hands now, we can't go anywhere, we can't do anything. So potentially people are just taking more of an interest and more time looking at people's profiles and connecting with people online.
Now people go onto these dating sites for various reasons. Some are looking for, I suppose, what some people call for a quick hookup, while others are really looking for a long-term relationship. But the idea normally is that you go online to make that initial connection, but that would eventually lead to having dinner or meeting for coffee or perhaps, I don't know if I can say that on a news platform, a booty call, as it is called in that kind of lingo. Without that instant gratification waiting on the other side of a coffee, a dinner, or a hookup, how are people changing the way that they approach online dating?
So people are definitely needing to or becoming more creative with the way that they are dating online and spending time online. Things like date nights where, for example, you'll schedule dinner at the same time in your respective homes and go online and have dinner together. Watching movies together. There's a lot of free apps now where you can do virtual tours together, for example, museums and galleries and stuff like that. So people are definitely becoming more creative on how they're spending time together. But some of the negatives on that is that people are also getting dumped online as well. So instead of ghosting and catfishing and that kind of thing, people are now getting dumped online through the likes of Zoom and FaceTime, etc.
And that sounds like a horrible experience, whether you're in lockdown or not. People have spoken, when we've spoken about mental health issues during this time, loneliness is a massive thing that people have spoken about. And one supposes that the online dating site could perhaps be an outlet for those who are just looking for companionship during these really unforeseen times that we're living through.
Absolutely, and this is where we're seeing a trend where ex-relationships are popping up. It's easier to go back to the familiar and what you know and who you know and who you've spent time with. It's easier to reconnect and rekindle that as opposed to potentially searching for a new romantic interest. So yes, loneliness is definitely a factor, and we've seen from research that's been done that the impact of chronic loneliness on our immune system is the equivalent to smoking 15 cigarettes a day.
Wow, that is quite a shocking statistic. If you, as somebody who's watching and they've never tried online dating and they're sitting in their 40-something day of lockdown, what tips would you have for them if they were approaching online dating for the first time and they're doing it during lockdown?
So I think the first key thing is to understand, why are you going onto these online dating apps? Is it because you're feeling lonely and alone or bored? Is it because you really are interested in forming a relationship and finding a relationship with someone? And having a relationship online is actually not that very different to having a long distance relationship. So the key things would be communication skills. And because we can't move the relationship from online to offline into a face-to-face environment, we're having to make much more of an effort with communicating online. So communication skills are important. Being able to talk about a range of topics and getting to really know each other first before moving it into that offline situation. And right now, we don't know when we're going to be able to see people face to face. You know, there have been trends, or we've seen some trends where people have been asked to break the rules, so to speak, and to meet up, you know, within the curfew hours. If you happen to live within the 5-kilometer radius of each other, you know, that's probably doable. But generally, people are saying that they're not keen on breaking the rules. And I think this is where that very sort of fear comes in of, you know, am I going to get this virus? And what does it mean? Because, you know, I don't know you that well. So there's a lot of other fears and anxieties that are coming with that. And definitely taking an effort, or making an effort in how you're showing up online. Some of the stats that we're seeing that are putting people off from dating online are things like untidy houses or untidy rooms. How you're showing up in terms of your appearance. So, you know, are you showing up in your pajamas? You haven't brushed your hair, that kind of thing. Because generally when we're dating, we're putting our best foot forward. We're trying to make an impression. Whereas now that we're in our own homes and environments, we're kind of more relaxed about that. So we don't necessarily make an effort with those things anymore.
That's great advice indeed. And I suppose the advice would be that wait until lockdown is lifted and just think about how special that first date could potentially be. Thank you so much. Relationship expert Paula Quincy coming to us there via Skype from Johannesburg. Thank you.